Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the biggest and baddest Tier 10 German Goliath in World of Tanks Blitz, the Maus. This vehicle weighs in at over 188 tons, in fact, which is extremely realistic to what it did in real life. This tank was so heavy that Germany was planning on literally using a snorkel to go underneath the water in bridges instead of climbing on the bridge because it would have collapsed them under its own tremendous weight. The Maus was a highly impractical tank, and this shows Germany's engineering at the end of World War II, just going bigger, thinking that it was better, which sometimes works, but for the Maus, yeah, I don't know how well the Armored Fortress would have worked. But in today's video, we're going to be playing it in World of Tanks Blitz, because of course it does work quite well in Blitz. Now there are a couple issues with this tank, something that I actually want to address as well for the game currently, which is heat shells on the Maus. Whenever you're playing a Maus, and if you are a frequent Maus player, you probably know this, but the issue with the Maus, I personally find, is that heat shells literally go through the upper plate. And yes, sounds kind of weird being the most armored and, heaviest tank in the game when heat shells can penetrate the upper plate, but the Maus is supposed to be like this unimpenetrable wall, but IS-4s running calibrated can penetrate through the upper plate of a Maus with heat, and so can an E100 and a WZ-113 and most tier 10 heavies that have high penetration heat rounds, which is definitely not fun. So the first reason I wanted to make this video is, if Wargaming is watching, please buff the upper plate of the Maus. It's not supposed to be penned by premium rounds other than like tank destroyers, but honestly, I think the Maus's upper plate should be impenetrable. The turret, yeah, you can make that a weak spot, but the upper plate, I feel like that's a little bit of a crossing boundary. But I figured in today's video, we're just going to be playing the Maus for what it's at. It actually has a lot of good things going for it. First of all, it has all of that armor, and it's also got hit points. Even when your armor doesn't work all the time, you still have so many hit points that you can literally just take shot after shot. You can get hit by literally like 130 shells and still be walking quite easily out of the battlefield. So that's something that's very nice about the tank. Now you might be wondering why I'm not pushing towards the heavy side. That's of course because they have two tank destroyers here. They've got a Jagdpanzer E100 and as well a Foch. And yeah, I don't want to be hit by either of them. So, pushing up the hill is not the best idea. Now, this 183 is just yelling at the team because he wants to get spotting. But, yeah, I'm not going to risk my life to go push up that hill and get shot like a big beanbag of my vehicle is. So, we're going to push into town here. That's where I like to push. I was going to try and drive up the hill, but the 183 was going there. So, what do we have on the team? Well, we've got the IS-4. There is actually an E75 spotted there. And we've got the ST-1 and the E75. Okay, so they've got a couple heavies. As you can see, they have pushed up that hill. And we're just going to make our way around the corner. Now, you'll notice the Maus is not the fastest of tanks. It only goes 20 kilometers per hour. In fact, 25, actually. But quite funny how we're the ones dealing with the light tanks now, judging that I didn't even want to deal with them. But that Batchat has kind of got himself stuck in a pickle, as you can see, as he's literally stuck in a wall, which we are now able to hit him twice. So that was about 800 hit points we've taken off of the enemy light tank. Not something I expected to say in my Maus, but you know what? I guess it worked. So we've got the IS-4 across the map. We are aiming at him, of course, and you can start to see where the pen kind of sucks on this vehicle. Now that shot hitting was truly just a miracle. The Maus is not nearly that accurate. In fact, shells like that hitting never tend to happen. But you know what? I'll take it when I can. That hit, and pretty impressive that it did in the first place. So we got the bat still over there, and I'm not going to try and deal with that Batchat because, of course, there's no point to. So I'm going to be driving towards the base capture. Now, there's two strategies I could do here. First of all, I could just sit in the base and try and draw the enemy to me. I don't like to win on base capture, but of course, if I get that number up to like 90 or something, the enemy team's obviously going to try and deal with me. But also, we are going to get, well, hopefully here, another nice shot. There we go. 575 into the side of the IS-4. So hopefully, we're able to shoot the heavies across the map, which it looks like we're doing quite easily so far. The great thing about the Maus is that it carries a very large amount of alpha per shot. In fact, 460, which means there, again, a 498 damage roll. So you're able to get these very high damage rolls with this tank, which is nice because while the tank doesn't have the most damage per shot, it still does get out some very beefy shots. And of course, we got like the side of this E75 there, another nice shot for 409 into the side of him, and we're at 2,700 damage. So you can start to see where the tank does work quite well, and why I did not want to push to the heavy side, but yet work the line still. So let's get one more shot into the side of that E75 for 469 hit points there. He's still driving up that hill, which means we're going to be able to get another one in. This is actually a great spot for any people that don't know about it too much. I would definitely suggest to go to this position, but there you go. Another max roll to the side of that E75 for 572, and we are doing pretty dang good. So 3,800 damage now for our pallet here, and now we can kind of sit in the base capture. see if the enemy tanks are going to want to pop out in the open for us. I'm not really sure if they're going to want to, but there goes the IS-4 backing in the cover. We've also got a vehicle like the Sheridan off to the side. Let's see if we can get a shot into the side of the enemy Sheridan. There you go, 412 hit points there into the side of the Sheridan. Gotta love when you're able to get those big beefy shells out. And we'll see if we can get another one out into the enemy Sheridan. I doubt it because, of course, the Sheridan is such a mobile tank. But that is fine because we're already at 23 on the base capture. And there's actually the IS-4 who is in quite a predicament. So we've got, hopefully, ooh, the Sheridan did hit me. And we're not able to get him back. In fact, this is where you can see this tank definitely struggles. It's when a lot of high penetration rounds are aiming at the frontal armor, the side of it as well, but you know, we got a nice bounce there from the Foch, which of course is what the mouse is known at doing. So now this Foch is on a full reload, which means we can get another, oh no, that was a bad shot from me there. This tank definitely struggles with trying to get out those big shots on, you know, very weak armor, or not weak armor, but just thick armor. And this is, of course, where this tank will struggle, because the Foch should easily be able to pen me with all of its shells. But, you know what, this guy is not necessarily the most of skilled, which means now we're able to get out some easy shots. That shell from the Sheridan just completely missing. But this is where I'm just going to wedge my tank down and hopefully get another penetrating shell right on that Foch's upper plate, which we were able to do. Now I'm going to angle it to the best of my abilities. Now this Foch should be able to get another shell into us, but because we have so many hit points on our tank here, we're literally able to tank all of these shells from the Foch, still coming out with a lot of hit points left. And you can see where it struggles. Like that Foch was sitting at how many hit points less than us? About 1,000 hit points less, and he was still able to bring us down quite low. But 5,600 damage for the first game in the mouse, yeah, pretty dang impressive. We were able to shoot the enemy in the side quite a bit. We were able to deal with the Foch, and that is kind of how you want to play your mouse, is you want to deal with the big guns on the enemy team. Now, sadly, I couldn't really push it super aggressive because, as you saw, the enemy had pushed all the way to the side, but we even managed to shoot a bat chat for how many hit points? Like 850 or so? That's quite rare, right? Yeah, 887 hit points off of the enemy light tank. You don't normally expect to do that in the mouse. So let's just get our rewards here, and then we'll go back into one more game. So, as you can see, the nice thing, as I said about the mouse, is actually that alpha, 460 hit points per shot, is something that's really nice, because most tier 10 heavies, other than like the E100 and, you know, a couple exceptions, the IS-4, not the IS-4, the IS-7, and the WZ-111 5A, which, you know, you don't really see a 5A much. The nice thing about the mouse is that while you don't really carry the most pen, you do have a lot of damage per shot. So a vehicle like the T110E5 we're up against, I can out-trade every single shot. You know, I'm dealing 20% more damage per shot or so, which is pretty dang nice. That means that I can easily tap him, and even if he taps me back, I'll always be coming out on top, which means that my hit points are really going to help me out here. So that's one really nice thing. And a lot of people say that the mouse is so slow, it's unbearable, but a great thing about the mouse is also I think it's sitting at around 1,800 horsepower, which means that it's honestly not that slow, judging how much horsepower it does have. You'll notice that it really never goes below 20 kilometers per hour. Now, of course, we are on really rough terrain here, but you'll see as soon as I do get up to top speed, it really doesn't drop below it. We're sitting at 25 here, and I probably shouldn't be going below 25 anytime soon. Now, my team did a perfect job on holding back that Progetto. We'll see if we can get a shot into the side of his turret here if he's going to back up. Come on. Yes. That's exactly what I wanted to do. You got to get those medium tanks shot, as you know, right at the beginning of the game, because that is something that's very quickly needed to be taken care of. Now, you got that WT as well, showing the side of his turret, and we're going to aim in right on that. Now, the chances of that hitting are actually quite high now, judging that he drove right up there. So that was a nice HE as well. The nice thing about a 12.8 centimeter is that it deals, 600 average damage or something like that, which, of course, is an extremely deadly amount. So, yeah, that WT is not feeling too well. We're going to see if we can get another shell into that WT, which, there you go. So 2 shots into that enemy WT, and he is already living in Spain. He's only at 46 hit points left, so yeah, he's not feeling too well. Now we've got a tank like the E75 right here. We're going to aim in right on his lower plate, aim and fire. There's a nice tap. And this is, of course, where this E75 really stands no chance to me. Like, I can literally just drive right up here, and while he may hit me once or twice, we're really just going to smash him to pieces. So here we go, another premium shell, because as you can see, our standard did struggle to pen him, but yeah, the E75 probably knows he's in a bit of trouble. So we're not even going to shoot him right now. We're going to try and deal with tanks like the Progetto off to the side here. So let's get a nice shot into you for 494 hit points. No clue where the enemy E5 is actually gone. Oh, they went to town to capture base. Yes, defend the base. That's probably a good idea. I'm not going to be quick enough to get there, of course, so my team is going to have to do that. But you know what? We're able to get a nice HE into you, and it looks like our team is defending the base, which is quite good overall. And yeah, this is, again, a pretty nice battle. Ooh, that was a nice little ram. Of course, the mouse is going to be great at ramming, judging that it does all of that damage. There's one more shot into the butt of the Foch for another 600 hit points or so there. And yeah, that is the mouse for you. It just gets out these massive damage shells. We're already at 4,000 damage once again. So even if this battle ends now, we're already sitting at a very respectable amount of damage that I can't complain about. We're going to be able to get a nice shot into the east side of that E75 there. And it looks like I'm going to be the only one shooting him again because nobody else is wanting to deal with him. So we're going to drive up here to see if we can get one more shot into the E75. E75 alone forever. Yes, we are actually going for the E75. So there's our Leopard dealing with that guy, and hopefully we're going to be able to make our way up this hill just to steal in one more shell. Come on, no. The Leopard's got such a quick reload, as you guys do know. 3,700 DPM or something like that, which is, of course, a crazy, ludicrous number of damage per minute to be sitting at. But this is another great game to really show how the mouse works, is when you're up against opponents that really don't play correctly, it smashes through them with just unprecedented power, because you just push and you don't stop. Like you saw there, that game I literally just pushed with no problem whatsoever, and that's what makes the mouse so strong. And even while I'm not able to shoot the C5 once, you know, the great thing is I was still able to get out a very large amount of damage. What was it, like 4,500 damage? We penned 2 high explosives on the WT, 2 HGs on the rear of that the Foch there. That's already like 2,400 hit points just with HE, and as you can see, almost 5,000 hit points worth of damage there we were able to come out with once again. So the mouse is an extremely fun tank. Now, would I say good? I'd say it's good, but it is very tricky to run, because when you're in a battle up against vehicles like an IS-4, especially a smart IS-4, it'll just load premium and penetrate right through your upper plate, which is definitely a bit of an issue. But against tier 9s like that E75 literally stood no chance to damage me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.